All right, I was just gonna say, like, wow. We're in person, guys. Welcome to NDSS 2022. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna set this down so you're also going to be immortalized. All right, that's going to go viral now. This is the first Big Four conference back in person after 2 years, and we were the last Big Four conference in person, so woohoo! And I have to say, it has been fantastic seeing friends that I haven't seen in years. It has been fantastic meeting new people. I hope everyone else feels the same kind of excitement about being here as I feel. Just, wow, super excited. Obviously, a little bit of the elephant in the room is COVID, so I am going to have a couple of announcements on that one. First one, masks. I would ask, if you don't mind, when you're in a very crowded room like this one, please do put masks on. I do have a few reasons for this one. You guys are all computer security. You understand the concept of risk. The second one, and I won't embarrass people by saying please put up your hand if you were around in 2000 to 2005 reading papers and attending conferences, but if you were, I know you've all been exposed to epidemiology models for modeling computer virus spread and understand that part too. And then the third reason is actually a very personal one. I would feel really awful if someone were to get sick while they're here, because I feel like it's my watch. I feel like a mom. So please do wear masks when you're in crowded situations. If you are not feeling well, please don't be here. You can go into your room. We have this wonderful thing called a hybrid model. You can go online now, so you can watch from your hotel room. The registration desk has tests, so you can get tested if you're not feeling well and want to know should you be around people or not. All right, how many people are here? And the one thing I didn't think to ask is, how do I change my slide? The big green. Haha, yes. So I'm sure everyone's wondering how many people are here, how has COVID affected attendance? And so there you go. Last number I heard for in-person, 257 people registered in person. So really impressed with that. That takes us back to looking at the slides, somewhere around between 2013, 2014, 2015 area. Virtual attendance, roughly the same number. So that keeps us at about the same attendance that we had 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we dipped because, again, COVID was just starting, and so we actually saw a dip in people who attended because of that. And then virtual attendance, of course, was up. Although I'll note that a lot of people, or I shouldn't say a lot, some people registered and then didn't attend. So that was an interesting thing to see about virtual. Speaking of virtual, we are also all being watched right now live by a number of people who are virtual. So welcome to our attendees who are not here. Especially, I'd like to say a call out to our friends in Europe who are staying up in the evenings doing this, and our friends in Asia Pacific region who are up really, really late, especially those who are going to be presenting and answering questions. So thank you very much for participating remotely as well. A few logistics. The important one, bathrooms. Go out around the registration desk and go back towards the stairs, and you'll see them on your right-hand side. Lunch. Lunch will be held outside, so just follow the crowd to where all the tables are. Track C. Anyone who's doing that in the Rousseau room, that's actually downstairs, so pretty much right under where we are now. So if you're doing track C, go down there. Other logistics. Posters. Our poster session tonight, please join us. It will be a reception poster session. That is being held just outside here and in the room across the way. The other fun thing is we also have a virtual poster session. And so anyone who is not here is able to attend and still see all the posters. It will be all the posters, the presenters who were here for the physical and also some who are virtual. I would encourage everyone who is here in person, if you have the opportunity, please join the virtual session tomorrow. and see any of the posters that you happen to miss today. Of course, this doesn't happen without sponsors. So I have a huge thank you to a number of sponsors. Our platinum sponsor, NSF, thank you very much, NSF. Gold sponsors, we have Baidu, Google, and the Technology Innovation Institute. Silver sponsors, a lot of them. So thank you very much to ByteDance, Checkpoint, FutureWay, Intel, Microsoft, Novi, Palo Alto, Qualcomm, Resecurity, Netflix, and team, and I always hate saying this, Kumri. I think I said it right. Supporters, thank you to Homelight. T-shirt sponsors, IBM. This was all done in cooperation with Usenix, so thank you very much to Usenix. And technical support, thank you very much to San Diego Supercomputer Center. Also, you guys are all going to be seen online. We are tweeting throughout. If you guys tweet, please do tag us, NDSS 2022. In terms of providing feedback to us, you will also be getting a survey at the end of the conference. But that said, this is our first experiment doing hybrid. So one, please be patient with us for that one. We're going to see how that works out. If you have constructive suggestions for how to improve the experience, we would love to hear them. If there are things that we can improve right away, please come find us and we'll try to make those changes immediately. If there are things that are longer term, you can either come find us and let us know, here's a suggestion, or if you prefer, put it in the survey afterwards. But we would really like to know how we can improve this experience, both for everyone who is here in person and for everyone who is attending virtually. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to our program chair to give you all the really fun, interesting stats.
Good morning, everyone. I guess, do I get my, oops. I think this was the, okay, so I just am, thank you so much, Carrie. This is really exciting for me to make it out from the dark web to beautiful, sunny San Diego again. So let's give an applause to that. And I have to tell you, I think, we missed the first slide that I had, which was, the picture with, okay, all right. Okay, so I just, felt bad if I missed Wen Yuan because, my program co-chair, Wen Yuan, who is online, could not be... could not, unfortunately, because of the travel restrictions in China, she could not make it here in person. She has put her heart and soul into, helping with, the best program we could come up with, which you will see hopefully in the next 3 days, and 3 years. And the impact will be for 300 years or more. And then, I'm also very excited. This is the very first time in any of the big 4 conferences in security, to the best of our knowledge, where the program chairs and the general chair are all women. This, exciting times. I guess, can I go on my slides? Wen Yuan, sorry to miss you. I guess like many of us, I've been frustrated, and I have to, give an acknowledgement that I got this slide from our previous chair, Ahmed, who It's been an interesting 2 years. And if you think about what has come out of these 2 years, what I can just remember is this is the good that came out, this is the bad that came out, and this is the ugly. I mean, I guess there is not much difference about like what has really come up, but one thing that I'm sure you guys have all noticed and we believe is here to stay out of this pandemic is the accelerated transition into a cyber domain. And this accelerated transition into the cyber domain is here to stay with us. And that's why we believe this acceleration to cyber is making computer security much more important and much more first-class citizen in the whole scope of things. Of course, we could not have put together an amazing program, which we believe we have put together, without amazing program committee members. We had about 90 program committee members who have worked tirelessly to make this happen. So please give a round of applause. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you some selected statistics of what we went through and what were the some of the factors. Of course, we have mentioned we are mentioning our just share numbers. We really looked for quality and impact in the papers that we've selected, and I hope you will see that today and in the next 2 days. Here is a chart with 2 decades of NDSS. We've been more than 2 decades around, and as you can see here, the submission has really been on par with what we have had in the past. So in that sense, even during pandemic and with all the hardships, we have kept our relevance, and the acceptance rate of this year is also on par with the recent years, 16.2%. Of the papers have been accepted. This is selective, fairly selective acceptance rate, and we believe the quality also reflects in the papers that we've accepted. This is the decisions during the review process and in which phase of the review process these decisions have been made. So majority of the papers, as you see here, get rejected during round 1 if they're not on par with the quality that we are looking for. I would say more than a quarter of the papers get rejected during round 2, and I have to tell you, being on the backside of things, there's so many heated discussions, and people are really, putting their heart and soul into discussing and to talking about the merits and the impact of the papers. Then most of the papers that pass these 2 filters actually get in, as you see, there are very few papers that get accepted right away, but except for a couple of papers that got major revision and got rejected, most of the papers that passed these 2 filters made it to the program. So here is a list of the Okay, it's hard to go to anyone's webpage, I guess, including mine these days, and not see machine learning as one of the research topics. So it's not very surprising that the highest rate of rejected papers by topic are machine learning and AI. That's where we had the most number of submissions as well. And of course, as you see, this comes down for some of the topics that we have less submission. There are the percentage of accepted papers is higher, but I don't think this is an indicator. I think this is just an indicator that many of these topics that have a high rejection are very trendy topics, and several authors attempt to publish at top security conferences, but that does not reflect that these are necessarily the highest experts in the field. So that's, I guess, one. We did not do any filtering of the papers by the topic. These are just after the fact statistics, by the way. And this is also accepted papers by the topic. As you see again, because we had such a high number of submissions in machine learning and AI, and this is fairly consistent basically with the previous slide. So the fields that had higher and number of submissions, we had higher accepted papers, and this is another chart showing which topic quantitatively made it to the top. As I have mentioned in the beginning of my talk, it's that transition to the cyber domain that we are looking for, and looking for making more secure. And if you think about that as the vector of what we are going to have, the backbone of our society, it's not surprising that the future internet architectures is the topic that has got most of the acceptance rates. And there is, of course, a lot of other important topics, including cyber crime defense and forensic and cyber physical systems and all the beautiful things that we do research on in computer security, which have made it to this list. Okay, so this is a geographic representation of the papers that have been accepted. I guess we did not include the number of submissions by country. It was fairly consistent with these acceptance rates. Maybe, for some of the countries, we had a bit of a different percentage of acceptance rate, but this is basically very consistent with what we have seen in other top conferences in the field. Obviously, there are many institutions of higher education and research in United States, and that's where we saw most of the papers accepted. Now, we have 5 categories when we go through the review process, and this is like all the way from reject. The spectrum goes all the way from reject to accept, with 5 categories that go incrementally more positive. And as you can see, the accepted and rejected papers have a completely different probability density function or histogram. So this is, this shows how we've tried to make the process more fair. Of course, sometimes there are papers that get rejected that have some very positive review, but it's all based on the discussions and the weaknesses that some other reviewers may point out that we may reject some paper. So here is the average scores in the 2 rounds. As you could see, statistically, the round 1 scores are in average lower than the round 2 scores. And okay. So this is I guess, a lot of anecdotes, but the comments by time, and this is the time in, United States. we try to adjust for the Eastern time zone. And as you could see here, during mid to like later in the day, the comments sent are changing in terms of the frequency, but it also shows that other countries in the world have a different time zone. So this is like, I guess, after 10 a.m. in US is where the Asia Pacific and European reviewers are not very active. And then, once this period goes, we have a lot of people. Now you're not surprised how much I'm talking. Okay, I have to say, when Yuan and I sent a lot of messages around, but we had very responsible PC members who kept interacting with us, and we did distribute the load unevenly to make good decisions at the end. Now, I just wanted to again thank our amazing program committee members who have helped us technically have this high quality program. And with that, you will see these sessions in the program that are coming by. Of course, I guess I'm over my budget for the welcome and opening remarks. And I can't wait to hear the keynote by our distinguished speaker, the amazing Alex. So I'll let Carrie come ahead and introduce our keynote speaker. We will see you around. Stay around. We will be noting the best paper and the incoming PC chair on Wednesday when the conference ends. Thank you.
Okay, just before I introduce Alex, more logistics, because I know this is your favorite topic. Questions at the end for Alex. The way that's going to work is you'll see me sitting here, third row back, the aisle on this side. I'm going to ask people to come here. If you have questions in person, I'll be able to give you the mic. You'll be able to ask your question. I'll also be monitoring our Slack channel. So if you have questions and you're remote, please do post them in the Slack channel. Going by memory, I think it's NDSS Keynote 1 or something like that. It will be obvious. So please go in and have post your questions or commentary or anything there. So with that, it gives me tremendous pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, so Alex Gantman. He is the Vice President of Engineering at Qualcomm. It's a small multinational company, does wireless stuff. You may have heard of it. I think it's actually a very good chance that his work has impacted every single person in this room. So a huge impact by his work. A little bit about him. He has a bachelor's, master's, both from UCSD. I'll get all the acronyms correct. He has 20 years of experience in this field and across a broad range of areas within this field. He is considered a subject matter expert in a number of different areas. He has 45 patents. And I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. So about measuring security outcomes, please welcome Alex.